Welcome back to Amateur Hour. We're here with the NFL Draft, giving a in-depth analysis on each pick from the first round. Well, not each pick from the first round, top 10 picks and all the noticeable ones. We were going to go live, but YouTube's trying to stop us. They're trying to prey on our downfall.
So
They have a,
sad.
they have a 24-hour wait limit or wait timer for some reason, but we put out the content and we're going to still continue work giving you guys the best content possible. But let's get straight into it. So first, first pick, I'm pretty sure everybody knew who it was gonna be.
Trevor Lawrence. And this pick by Jacksonville was, you know, it was nothing surprising at all. There was no way. They had already come out and said, they practically, they were almost at the point where they're putting like billboards up in Jacksonville saying we are selecting Trevor Lawrence. Pretty much everyone knew it was going to happen. When it happened, everyone was like, yeah, it's a smart pick because there's so much talent there. He's a great quarterback. There's no denying it. You can't find many flaws in his game. Like watching him in Clemson, he's incredible. And the problem is, it's just work ethic. And do you want to take a take it from
Yeah,
there?
so there was recent interviews where he stated he wasn't that committed to the game. You're the first overall draft pick. How are you not going to be committed to the game? That if you can't do that, then how are you going to be great in this league? Like without a doubt, though, because of how well Jacksonville was able to surround him with on the necessary resources, and just how talented he is, there's no doubt he's going to be a solid starter. But the question is if he can be great as he's projected to be. And that all comes down to work ethic.
Yeah, I think one thing I do want to touch on, uh, like somewhat related to work ethic, but things that they would touch on during the draft. 6'6", 213. He needs to bulk up. Yeah, 6'6", but at his height and weight, he definitely needs to get bigger if he's gonna want to, really reach that full potential. Because sure, you have the height, but if you don't have the size, you're gonna get pushed around a lot. There
Yeah,
are
that's facts
guys.
though. But once he gets into the NFL, they're gonna give him some of that special sauce, get him on the workout routine, and he definitely can bulk up.
That's true. Yeah, I. Here's the thing. Work ethic is one of the things I prioritize in when I like a player. If I'm gonna like a player and they've got a bad work ethic, it's hard for me to like them. And with him, I just feel like being the first overall pick, he has to really commit. With so much hype, he's sort of forced into it. Like that's not bad, but you know,
You got to be
they have
obsessed
to.
with the game.
Exactly. Yeah. I think he will. I'm really not concerned too much. I think he'll be fine. He'll definitely be a NFL starting quarterback. But if he reaches his potential, like out, like fully, out of his shell, breakout season, and he reaches that elite potential, it could be an absolute steal for Jacksonville because they, unlike the Jets, have been good in the past. They don't have the worst team ever. They just were kind of certain about tanking. Yeah, you win your first game, but you drop 15 after that. You know, I mean, they did win a game, so it's not like they can't win. And now adding Trevor Lawrence, I think that's a very good move.
There's been rumors of Tim Tebow reportedly trying out to play tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, we shouldn't get too focused on him being a tight end since when I look at this, I mainly see him as a mentor. He can help mentor and shape Trevor Lawrence into becoming a great athlete. Since we saw what Tim Tebow was capable of, he's a tremendous leader.
Yeah, I think here's the thing. What he brings is probably not going to be on the field. He's not going to have that impact. He's going to have his impact felt in the locker room and on the sidelines a lot more. And to be honest, if he just came back as like a third string quarterback or something, I feel like that's better because when he was a quarterback, he was a good quarterback. There's no denying the fact that he really did have talent. But at tight end, I don't know if I get it. You start out as QB, go to the MLB, play in double A ball down there, come back as a tight end.
There's no doubt he's a tremendous athlete, though.
Oh yeah, no. There is no you can't deny that. He's like a freak of a human, man. So that's the really biggest thing for him. You know, it shouldn't be as bad as it would be for other players that might take time off and come back just because he's so athletic. He can do that. He's not going to be as good as he was before, but
Mainly, if I'm the Jaguars, I'm still signing him just for that mentorship, though. Help foster Trevor Lawrence into becoming the great quarterback that he can become.
yeah.
But that's Trevor Lawrence. So I think it's time to move on to the second pick. We have Zach Wilson, also very predicted. Zach Wilson selected by the Jets, and I just want to say, pray for that man. Pray for that man.
Yeah. See, I have been on record as stating no matter who the Jets pick, it will be the wrong selection. And I already think I might be on the right track. Because you're going to the Jets, the laughingstock of the league for as long as I can remember. Last like real playoff level team in 01, 02 or whatever. But here's the thing. His numbers are inflated because he's not playing against that same competition as other players. He seems a lot better than he really is. And you can say the same thing about Mac Jones, being,
Mac Jones and Trey Lance. Yeah.
right. So it's just, it seems as though it's starting to get to his head. I noticed, like in draft interviews and whatnot, he's starting to think he's better than he is. And one of his best things is when he was in BYU, he wasn't, as flashy as he would be thinking he's great. He's just like he's a good quarterback. He's a really good one. And he just relies on playing his game. Now, though, and you're going to New York, it's just
not good. Yeah. But
no.
like confidence is a great thing, but if you're a quarterback and you let it get to your head and you're not going to put in the work, like we've been obsessing over work ethic, but if you're a franchise quarterback, that is the main thing. That is the main thing.
You really work ethic gets so underrated, but then so many times when a player flops, that's exactly what everyone notices.
Johnny Manziel.
Right. He's the biggest one. At the time, though, no one there were scouts saying, he's just a party kid. He doesn't have that work ethic, but everyone was like, they don't know what they're talking about. He'll be great. He'll be the next Tom Brady. And look what ended up happening. Nobody wants to say it on draft day, but it is a genuine thing to take into consideration.
No, we're not necessarily saying that about not Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, but
right. Just as a general statement for any draft.
Yeah, but Zach Wilson, if anyone's going to be busted, no, I'm not praying on anyone's downfall, but he's going to the Jets. It's tough to be good when you're playing for the Jets.
Yeah, I just feel as though his strengths don't necessarily complement the Jets. Who are the Jets going to have him throw to? Who's going to protect him?
Well, the Jets, they're pretty much no one at this point. They're like JV football team.
That's true, yeah. But, all right. Pick number 3. This is when it started to be, a little bit, maybe San Fran does something. And one of the biggest draft day rumors was Aaron Rodgers. Everything going on there. He doesn't want to play for them anymore, but they refused to trade him. There were rumors that San Fran tried to offer up the 3rd overall pick and something for him. Packers shot that one down. So there was a lot of questions about this pick, and especially with what they had said. We were on record saying we weren't the highest praise of Mac Jones, and look how that ended up for us. But yeah, so getting back to it, it is the right pick. It's the safe pick. But
yeah, Trey Lance, incredible work ethic. Like when I mean incredible, I just I can't
Yeah,
stop.
no, I know. He's definitely a very safe pick. He's the right pick.
Yeah,
He
Trey Lance,
may
he has
you
a
go.
great arm talent, and we've seen what he did. Although it wasn't at, a big D1 school like Alabama or Clemson or LSU, he was undefeated. Now, it's in a weaker conference, but that's undefeated. So,
Yeah, I think it's the right pick. You can't say it's not, but it's just it felt as though that pick was being hyped up like, oh, they're going to do something crazy with it, and they didn't, which is smart. That's the right thing to do if you're the 49ers. You don't do something crazy like that. Like everyone likes to, push these narratives of like, oh, they're not, they're not going to do whatever. They're going to do all this and that. But in the end, teams don't do that. We always, any sport, every draft, there's always something, some big storyline everyone's trying to push that just doesn't end up happening because it's not realistic.
yeah, although I would have liked to see Aaron Rodgers go to 49ers, free Aaron Rodgers. This is just, like Nolan's been saying, it's the safest pick. And Trey Lance, he just fits the 49ers system better than another prospect like Justin Fields would have.
Yeah. And you want to move on to the fourth overall pick? Falcons,
All
they're
right.
one of my favorite teams. And what I'm going to say is I like this pick. It wasn't necessarily, I don't know, but there were always rumors of Kyle Pitts, he's the best athlete in the draft, I think. No
And
question.
arguably the best prospect.
It's true. It's just I wasn't sure what Atlanta was going to do. I had thought during the draft, before the selection was made, that they might end up going for Sewell, try to build around the offensive line. That didn't end up happening, and I do like this pick. Kyle Pitts. There's been rumors Julio will be out. Hopefully he comes to New England. I'd be all for that. But Kyle Pitts, he's basically just a supersized wide receiver, so he has to play tight end, kind of like DK Metcalf in reverse. At 6'6", you're not going to be a wide receiver just because there's no reason. Every coach you have is going to want to put you tight end, get that massive tight end.
And Kyle Pitts, he's going to play great with Julio Jones if Julio Jones doesn't get traded. But based off the selection, I doubt they're going to trade him. They're going to have two loaded offensive threats in Julio and Kyle Pitts. And this is just an overall great pick.
Yeah. And fifth, something that personally, when it happened, I didn't even know what to say. The Bengals, they're another team I root for, and that's the wrong pick. Don't make that pick. Why would you make that pick? Ja'Marr
I mean, I
Chase.
personally don't see what's wrong with it. You
It's
got to
just
get that connection. Ja'Marr Chase and Joe Burrow, they're former teammates. That
in
connection, that
college.
chemistry, you can't you can't make up for that.
Right, but just chemistry in college doesn't mean it will translate to the NFL. It's a risky pick, which is why I felt as though they wouldn't do it, and then they ended up doing it. I understand it, right? I just feel as though it's a very risky pick.
Yeah, but you go big or go home. This is the NFL after all. And
That's true.
the main issue for the Bengals is linemen, and you can always get linemen in later rounds.
But Sewell, he was ranked so high at times. He's ranked second. That's what I thought they were going to do. Build around him. The Bengals, they need that. Every circumstance happening pointed to them ending up with Sewell, which is why I was mainly slightly, not convinced about the pick. I understand it. All right. I don't think saying it was the wrong pick is the right way to put it. It's just a risky pick.
It's definitely riskier, but you got to please your QB.
That's true.
You're building around Joe Burrow. Although, it's nice to give him some linemen. He hasn't played with Sewell before, but you know who he's played with? Ja'Marr Chase.
Yeah. Then Miami, you want to start this one?
Yep. Next pick, another wide receiver, Jalen Waddle, 5'9", almost hard over height, just an inch too tall. but tremendous athlete. And he gets reunited with another former QB to a, I'm not going to even say his last name, but we get to see another wide receiver QB duo from college.
Yeah. This one doesn't feel as bad. Miami doesn't need that offensive lineman as much as Cincinnati does. So this is one that I understand a lot more. I feel like, going with that chemistry. But
I would say this is the best pick Miami could have picked since Tua, he barely fought. He barely got the starting spot at the end of the season. So hopefully, getting his former teammate on his team, sparking up that chemistry again, and getting the QB to wide receiver connection is gonna help him have a breakout season.
yeah, you'd hope so. I do like Tua. I think he's a very good quarterback. He just needs to reach that potential.
All right, so with the next pick, we got the man Penny Sewell going to the Detroit Lions.
Honestly, this is a steal for the Lions. The fact that Sewell fell, I mean, there's not much you can say just because it's a good pick. Really is. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't think they should have gone for anyone else. On the
Yeah,
board at the time, he's the right pick.
yeah, Sewell's an absolute unit, and he's great, especially since they just got Jared Goff. Help him get some help, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. That was an easy one to review. But then Carolina Panthers, they go with J.C. Horn, cornerback, South Carolina.
Now this pick, this is shocking to say the least. J.C. Horn,
Yeah,
he wasn't
that's
even predicted to be the number one cornerback to be drafted.
yeah. I do think Denver certainly they're not disappointed with the fact that they got Patrick Surtain. You know, but hey, there's got to be a reason. Carolina, every team goes in depth on these players in the draft. They have to see something, and yeah, there's potential, definitely. It's just it feels as though his floor is a lot lower than certain juniors.
Yeah, J.C. Horn, he's a lot less polished, a lot less NFL ready, but he is a crazy athlete, like all NFL players are, but specifically him. And he has tremendous playmaking ability. He can really go up and make a difference in a game.
Yeah,
But still,
and
I would have went with the safe choice with Patrick Surtain because he can. We saw what he did. His dad was a former pro, and he's just great overall game, great in pass coverage, and even solid in run stopping.
yeah, he Denver chose him the pick right after. We already covered him. That's a good pick. Even though I haven't always been the biggest Denver fan, I can't deny that that's another. It seems like a steal.
It kind of seems like a steal since Patrick Surtain, he's such a good prospect and so NFL ready, but I think Denver kind of messed up. If I were them, I would have picked Justin Fields because I would, although they made a trade for Teddy Bridgewater, like Teddy
I
Bridgewater
like
and Drew
Bridgewater
Lock.
better. He is
Yeah,
better.
but Bridgewater is better than Justin Fields.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that. Justin Fields, he's an elite prospect, and we saw what he did in college.
prospect though. That's the thing. Prospect.
Yeah, but still, who
You want to
knows?
talk about work ethic?
Yeah, Justin Fields, he has a tremendous work ethic.
I don't. Yeah, it's just with what there's everything that Bridgewater's done. Work ethic is his biggest thing, and I think that is what Denver is looking for. They need that. They need that leader on and off the field, like lead by example, and I think that's what Bridgewater brought. So I think I understand this pick a lot more.
In
But
my mind, though, I still would have gone with Justin Fields, though. What you said, makes sense. However, Teddy Bridgewater, he has a lot to prove, but given his work ethic, I just hope him the best.
yeah, I like Fields a lot, but the pick right in front of Fields is the next one up. Philadelphia Eagles, Devontae Smith. He fell. I mean, he didn't fall, but it just seems like a player like him going at 10. Flyers. Eagles fans have to be pretty pleased with this, I would think.
If I were the Eagles, I would be ecstatic, man. Devontae Smith, in my opinion, is the best wide receiver in this class. Although he's only 160 pounds, we've seen what just Deshaun Jackson was able to do. And combining that with the fact that Devontae Smith is reunited with his former quarterback, Jalen Smith, man, it's gonna be fun to watch Devontae Smith, man. Hopefully, we get to see a Deshaun Jackson V2, but I'm not worried at all about his weight.
Yeah, all these guys are going to bulk up. You can't worry about that. But now getting to Justin Fields, and I would like to take this one to start. And here's the thing. Before the draft, days in advance, whatever, it seemed as though everyone was saying it's going to be Fields. Patriots, they're going to get Fields. They're going to trade up unless he's there. And if he falls, they're going to get him. Because everything kind of pointed to him falling if he doesn't go really early. And so once he started to fall a little bit, I started thinking, okay, we actually might get Fields. And then the Chicago Bears decide they don't want to be another just bottom feeder in the league, which they still are, and decide to take him. They don't take him, he falls to us. Absolutely. Cowboys, Chargers, Jets. None of them are taking Fields. No way.
But it's a miracle that he was able to fall, this far. And although, many Pats fans were hoping for Justin Fields for, the Pats to trade up and get him, that's not what Bill Belichick does.
No.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Bill Belichick has ever traded up
in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. It's just, it felt like we were so close.
But so far.
And once he went, I kind of thought we might just trade out. But we go with, what we're going to talk about next. Mac Jones. Another player to talk about work ethic.
Could he be Tom Brady 2.0? We've seen you gotta hope, man. Look, although this is just physical appearance, we've seen their two draft pictures side by side.
Yeah, I know. It's just, and I feel like I'm not being fair. I'm judging him versus Justin Fields, but it's hard not to, what the Patriots could have had versus what they got. And Mac Jones, I don't want him to be a bust. I don't dislike him. I'm just not as convinced as some people are on his talent.
Yeah, but given the fact that, the Patriots system and what Mac Jones can do on, when we need to get a first down, he can make that accurate pass to a wide open receiver. And that's just what Bill Belichick likes in his QBs, as we saw with Tom Brady. And
here's the
Mac
thing. Let me just say, I think Bill Belichick, everyone understands what he saw in N'Keal Harry. Just because you see something in a player doesn't mean it's going to work. And that's my thing. I'm not convinced he'll end up working out.
I definitely think he has upside, though. Yeah, but Cam's just a 1-year deal, in my opinion. Cam's just gonna have a breakout season, and then he's gonna sign somewhere else. Where I'm perfectly fine with that. And he's a great mentor. He can be a great mentor. So we saw what Mac Jones can do when he's given an elite weapons. Who do the Pats have now? Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. Don't tell me that doesn't excite you, man.
It does, yeah. If Belichick manages to build a super team after 1 year of missing the playoffs and we're back in it, are people going to say he's the greatest? Because, I already say he is. So
yeah, we look at our team last year. We were barely under 500.
And we could have a potential playoff team. Don't want to jinx it, but
knock on wood. Yeah, Mac Jones, he has great decision making. Like I said, reminds me of Tom Brady 2.0. Although Tom Brady, 7 rings, nothing bad you can say about him.
Yeah. So yeah, that should wrap everything up. Again, sorry we couldn't do the live stream. We were trying, but we'll get it all figured out. Don't worry about that. We'll probably do the rest of the draft, another time once that all finishes up. We'll do a quick one reviewing the Patriots picks. Hopefully, Asante Samuel Jr. That's what I'm hoping for. But we'll see.
Or Rondell Moore, 5'7", hard over height.
Yeah, you've said.
But that's it. That's all we have today. Stay tuned for new content, and we're out.